I thought it went very well. You know, he had a workmate out there, and they did it. Both riders did a great job. It worked out, you know, like we would have hoped it was going to. And I thought Rocket Can finished well and galloped out well. I thought it was a very nice work.
Besides a clean trip, what are you looking for in the Derby?
A win. I mean, that would be good. But I guess to ensure a win, I mean, you've got to have a pretty good trip. It's difficult to get it's such a competitive race that the trip means a lot. And sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. You know, it's a big field.
The plans for the rest of the week leading up to the Derby, what are your plans?
He'll have an easy day tomorrow, and then we'll get him back and, you know, keep him on just a medium exercise program till Derby Day. You know what I mean? We just hope that, you know, you stay healthy and in one piece and till Saturday.
Are you familiar with how he got his name?
Well, I know the first part of the name, Rocket. Mr. Fletcher has had a dog named Rocket, and he's lost his first Rocket, so he's on his third dog named Rocket, and he puts Rocket or Rocket in a lot of his horses' names. So if you see one of them, you probably know it could be his.
Well, he's off to a good start winning the stakes last night with Frank's Rocket.
Yeah, we got that one out of the way. It was good. I mean, very nice filly. You know, I'm so proud of her. She shows up every time, and you know, I guess the only time she's never run any good was when we ran her at Keeneland. For some reason, she didn't like it, but I guess both times it was the Breeders' Cup. So, but she's doing well.
Can you tell from the two works how the blinkers, if they're having the intended impact you want them to have on Rocket Can?
Visually, for me, it looks like they're helping. And we had worked him before in blinkers, and we thought they didn't make an extreme amount of difference. But, you know, if they help you just a little bit, you know, that's what you need.
Did you get the time?
I did. The clockers told me it was 59-4 out in 113 and change. I mean, that's racehorse time over this track, I'd say. And, you know, the gallop out was good, 7/8 and 26 and change. So I think that's, you know, that's a good work, and the kind of work you'd want to be coming off of going into a big race. I mean, he shows that he's sharp and able to do it.
Yeah. How has this horse progressed from Florida to Arkansas this winter?
It's been good. I mean, his first race in Florida was quite good, you know, when he won the Holy Bull. But he's progressed a lot since last August when we ran him twice in Saratoga and he didn't hit the board. And then, you know, we sent him back here in the fall and he ran twice. And he's shown, you know, steady progression. But the biggest progression was when we, you know, after the first two races in Saratoga, and we brought him here and he had a win and a second. And he's been slowly going the right direction.
Dale Rowan said on Horse Racing Nation yesterday that he'd been talking to you about, and the way you were talking about this horse and everything, he just thinks that you feel like you have a really live horse.
You know, the one thing we all have to prove is that we can get 10 furlongs. I mean, that's always the big question in the Derby. That none of these horses have been that trip, or maybe there's one or two of them, but there's not many prep races at that 1.25 mile distance. So, you know, when they turn for home in the Derby, I mean, it really sorts them out. And, you know, we hope that this horse has enough stamina to get the 10 furlongs. I mean, we think, you know, we tend to feel like he does. He's got a pedigree that would indicate that he should get the distance. But, you know, you never know if they can do it until they do it.
But longtime Bill Mott watchers, Dale being one of them, would say that when you're like in this really good loose mood, your horse means your horse is doing great, and it better be respected.
Well, I appreciate Dale's
Drosselmeyer
opinion.
comes to mind.
Yeah, I appreciate Dale's opinion, and he's got I think his horse is doing well too, the way it looked.
He just has to get in.
Yeah. So, how deep is he on the
First AE.
21? He's the first. So, I see him training out here, and he looks like he's doing well.
Bill, is the lack of pace a concern at all in the derby?
Usually as it turns out, there's rarely a total lack of pace. I mean, when everybody sees that, and they'll try to change tactics, and so somebody will go. I don't think it's like it was, 15 years ago when you had top sprinters. You had horses like Shecky Green and some of those horses running in the Derby. They were great sprinters as 2-year-olds, and people were willing to take a chance with those horses. So you don't see those type of horses in the race because they didn't accumulate any points. And the other thing that's missing is the opportunity for fillies to get into the race. With the point system the way it is, it eliminates most of the fillies from an opportunity because they haven't received the points in the boy races. But and having a filly in there, it always made the race interesting. It was some good talking points and a lot to take into consideration. And there's been a couple of fillies that have won the race, so I'm sad to see that part of it as far as the race goes. And you would like to see some of those fast sprinters in there, but I'm sure it's a good group of horses, and as everybody looks at the form, they'll say, well, if it doesn't look like there's a lot of pace, just looking at the racing form, I'm sure somebody's going to decide to change their tactics and try to show something early. I've told Mr. Fletcher, I've been here a few times, and it's such a tough race and a large field. Anything can happen, so come and enjoy the race, and let's have some fun. I mean, it's we all want to win, but it's I think when you have the opportunity to run in this race, I mean, there's only 20 horses out of the whole foal crop that get a chance to do it. So, just enjoy the fact that we're here.